Kay Fisher drew in a deep gulp of coffee to shed another layer of too damned early. She headed toward the beautiful Grand Millennium Hotel, a gracefully aging building in the heart of Manhattan that had existed for longer than all the surrounding monstrosities of towering glass put together. As tired as Kay was, the sight of the building never failed to nudge her spirits higher, reminding her of how her life might have turned out if she hadn't stepped through its regal doors. Today, though, like every other day before dawn, her destination was not the hotel itself, but its elite ground-floor gym, which drew to it like moths those with excess wealth, influence, and power. "Hey, Vince," Kay said, trying to sound awake as she reached the main doors.
"Morning, Miss Fisher."
The doorman sprang to attention. "Lovely weather," she suggested, wondering if she could produce it by sheer force of will. They both glanced up at the gloomy sky, barely holding back rain. Dawn light was slowly creeping across the horizon. Vince's snort was soft and skeptical. She chuckled in agreement.
"Do you know what day it is, Miss Fisher?"
Vince asked. Kay frowned. Friday?
Anniversary of you joining Grand Millennium. 15 years today."
"What? No." She did her math.
"Actually, yes."
"How do you know that off the top of your head?"
"Oh, I recall the day real well. Your first day on the job, you took one look at me and asked Mr. Stein, completely straight-faced, mind, whether freezing the door staff was company policy. And before the boss could answer, you said he should either give me a thicker coat with my uniform or a raise to buy one."
"How bold of me. Did you get your new coat?" Vince smiled.
"Well, Miss Fisher, I ended up getting a new coat and a raise, and I remember that day well because when I got home, Aaliyah told me she was pregnant."
"That's—" A blur of fluorescent green shot past her. Kay slammed herself into the side of the building to avoid being hit. The bicycle courier didn't even slow. Him! It was the same jackass who'd been terrorizing pedestrians along West 35th Street for months. He'd caused an elderly news vendor to fall and fracture a hip. "Watch it, asshole!" she shouted, peeling herself off the glass. The cyclist flipped her the bird over his shoulder and laughed.
"You okay, Miss Fisher?"
Vince asked. Kay took stock of herself. Son of a bitch! Coffee coated her wrist and had drenched her watch. Her designer watch, which had cracked upon impact with the wall. A beat later, she registered the scalding burn. God damn it! She hurled her coffee cup away. Adrenaline spiked her throat, and the cup slammed into the back of the cyclist, who just braked hard for a wayward pedestrian. Brown liquid spattered up his ass, legs, and bicycle. Kay blinked.
"Ouch,"
Vince murmured, sounding impressed. The cyclist shrieked, did a little wobble, then hit the ground in a tangle of man and machine that Kay probably shouldn't have found quite so satisfying. She strode over to assess the situation. The man scrambled to his feet, pulling his bicycle up with him. "You fucked up my bike!" "Your bike?" Kay's burnt arm throbbed, her watch looked ruined, and tales of all the pedestrians this asshole had half-flattened filled her head. "You're worried about your damned bike?" He stared at her, finally registering her fury. "You could have killed me the speed you were going. Should have got out of the way then. Shit, I think the handlebars are bent. You shouldn't have been on the sidewalk in the first place. What the hell's wrong with you?" "Whatever." His gaze raked his machine. "Thanks for screwing up my bike."
My bike,
she mocked as rage flooded her. Kay snatched the clip-on bell from his handlebars and shoved it under his nose, where she dinged it obnoxiously 3 times. He gaped at her stupidly, then tried to grab it. Kay snatched her hand away and hurled the bell out into the road. A second later, a delivery truck rumbled by and crunched it flat with a sad ding. "The fuck, lady, I needed that!" "All evidence to the contrary. If you'd used it, we wouldn't be here." He straightened to full height. "You itching to get hurt for real?" She lifted an eyebrow. The man was lean, with a hipster neckbeard, earrings, and mean brown eyes. "Oh, for God's... Threats of violence? Must we?" Kay huffed out an indignant breath. "Don't bother. I have a black belt." "So do I."